Something unusual is happening in global politics, and it's catching the attention of experts and ordinary people alike. In a world where alliances are constantly shifting and countries often play it safe, we're witnessing a move that stands out from the usual diplomatic playbook. The global stage is buzzing with speculation, and the actions of one nation are sparking conversations in newsrooms and living rooms around the world. That nation is the Philippines, which has suddenly found itself at the center of a major international debate. Despite being thousands of kilometers away from the conflict, the Philippines is stepping into the spotlight, making bold moves that few expected. Its leaders are taking a stand that's drawing both praise and criticism, and the world is watching closely to see what happens next. While many countries have chosen to remain silent or neutral, the Philippines is openly supporting Ukraine and voicing concern for its safety. This isn't just a diplomatic gesture, it's a clear and public statement that has surprised analysts, politicians, and citizens alike. People are asking, why is the Philippines taking such a strong position? What's motivating this unexpected show of support? To understand this, we need to look beyond the headlines and consider the deeper reasons behind the Philippines' actions. Is it about shared values, strategic interests, or something else entirely? What's at stake for the country, and what message is it sending to the rest of the world? After all, Ukraine is thousands of kilometers away from the Philippines. On the surface, it might seem like their fates are unrelated. So why is the Philippines willing to take a risk and show support for a country so far away? Is there a hidden connection, or is this about something bigger than geography? And this decision isn't just about foreign policy. It could have real consequences for the region and for the Philippines' own future. How will this bold stance affect its relationships with neighboring countries, its role in ASEAN, and its position on the world stage? Could it change the way the Philippines is seen by its allies and rivals? There's one key reason behind this support, a reason most people overlook. It's not just about politics or alliances. It's about a principle that could reshape the Philippines' identity and influence in global affairs. Understanding this reason changes the whole story and reveals what's really at stake. So, keep watching until the end to discover the real motivation behind the Philippines' surprising move, and why it matters more than you might think. Why does the Philippines care about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? At first glance, it might seem like a distant issue, unfolding thousands of miles away, with little direct impact on the daily lives of Filipinos. But is it really just about alliances, or is there more beneath the surface? When we look closer, we see that the Philippines' interest in this conflict is shaped by a complex web of historical ties, economic interests, and the ever-shifting landscape of global politics. Is it about national interest? Absolutely. The Philippines, like many countries, must constantly weigh its own security and prosperity against the backdrop of international events. The war in Ukraine has sent shockwaves through the global economy, affecting everything from energy prices to food security. For a nation like the Philippines, which relies heavily on imports and is deeply connected to global trade, these ripple effects are impossible to ignore. Is it about security? Without a doubt. The conflict has forced countries across Asia to rethink their own defense strategies and alliances, especially as tensions rise in the region. Or is there something deeper happening behind the scenes? International diplomacy is rarely straightforward. Behind closed doors, leaders are making calculations about influence, leverage, and the future balance of power. The Philippines' stance on Ukraine is not just a matter of public statements, it's a signal to allies and rivals alike about where it stands in the global order. Why are Filipino leaders speaking out in support of Ukraine? Is it a show of solidarity with a fellow democracy under threat, or a strategic move to strengthen ties with Western partners? Perhaps it's both. By voicing support for Ukraine, Filipino officials are aligning themselves with the broader international community that condemns aggression and values sovereignty. What message are they trying to send to the world? Every statement, every gesture, is carefully crafted to communicate the Philippines' values and priorities. It's about showing that the country stands for peace, stability, and the rule of law. But it's also about making sure the Philippines' voice is heard on the world stage, and that its interests are protected in a rapidly changing world. And really, how does this choice affect the Philippines' own position in Asia? In a region where power dynamics are constantly shifting, every foreign policy decision carries weight. The Philippines must navigate relationships with powerful neighbors like China, as well as maintain strong ties with the United States and other allies. Its stance on Ukraine could influence future partnerships, trade deals, and even security arrangements. Here's the biggest question of all. What does the Philippines gain from siding with Ukraine, and what does it risk? Is it about moral leadership, or is it a calculated move to secure economic and military support? Could it provoke backlash from other global powers, or open new doors for cooperation? We'll reveal the answers to these crucial questions later in this video, so stay tuned. If you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth analysis and stories that matter. Let's keep exploring these big questions together. The Philippines and Ukraine may look far apart on the map, but their situations feel unexpectedly similar. Both countries face pressure from larger neighbors. Both countries deal with territorial disputes. Both countries understand what it feels like to protect their sovereignty. So when Ukraine came under threat, the Philippines saw something familiar, a reflection of its own struggle to protect its borders. This created a sense of empathy, connection, and shared understanding. Supporting Ukraine isn't only about Ukraine, it's also about sending a message. The Philippines values international rules. The Philippines supports peaceful solutions. The Philippines respects borders and sovereignty. And when one country's borders are violated, it raises questions for every other country facing similar pressure. This is why the Philippines' stance matters more than most people think. The Philippines is strengthening ties with partners who also support Ukraine, Japan, South Korea, the United States, and the European Union. By aligning with Ukraine's safety, the Philippines shows it stands with nations that prioritize peace and stability. These relationships matter, especially in today's world. Stronger alliances bring stronger support, stronger cooperation, and, well, stronger security. Supporting Ukraine comes with risks, possible tension with Russia, criticism from some groups, and involvement in global issues. But it also brings powerful advantages. Stronger global respect, closer ties with allies, more cooperation in defense and economic growth, and a clearer moral position on world issues. Most importantly, it shows the world that the Philippines is not afraid to make principled decisions. Earlier, we asked, what does the Philippines truly gain from siding with Ukraine, and why does this decision carry such weight on the global stage? At first glance, it might seem like a distant conflict, far removed from the daily lives of Filipinos. But beneath the surface, there's a deeper, strategic calculation at play, one that goes beyond simple alliances or diplomatic gestures. Here's the real answer. The Philippines supports Ukraine because the outcome of that conflict directly affects how the world treats countries with territorial disputes, including the Philippines itself. The war in Ukraine is not just about borders in Europe. It's a test of whether the international community will stand up for the rights of smaller nations when they're threatened by more powerful neighbors. For the Philippines, which faces its own challenges in the South China Sea, this is a question of survival and sovereignty. If the world defends Ukraine's sovereignty, it strengthens the idea that all nations, big or small, deserve protection. It sends a clear message that international law matters and that aggression will not be rewarded. This principle is crucial for countries like the Philippines, which rely on global support to uphold their own territorial claims and maintain peace in their region. And that principle is exactly what the Philippines needs in its own regional challenges. With ongoing disputes in the South China Sea, the Philippines looks to the world for solidarity and support. By standing with Ukraine, the Philippines is also standing up for itself, asserting that the rules protecting Ukraine should also protect the Philippines. That's why this stance is more than a political move. It's a calculated message to the world. The Philippines values the international order and expects the same respect and protection in return. By aligning with Ukraine, the Philippines is building alliances, strengthening its voice, and reminding the world that its own security is tied to the fate of other nations facing similar threats. Ultimately, it's a message about the Philippines' future, its safety, and its place in the world. It's about hope for a peaceful tomorrow, where the rights of every nation, no matter how small, are respected and defended. In supporting Ukraine, the Philippines is also shaping its own destiny and sending a powerful signal that it will not stand alone. Subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.